Hi, I am Christophe Derdeyn. I am a long-term entrepreneur, over 25 years in the business. I've been involved in the IT sector in helping organizations optimize their business through technology. I've done this within the shared services context. I've done this through offshoring to India, Malaysia, the Philippines, and a bunch of other countries. I've helped companies run better. As part of what I've done over the years, what was always a critical element is having high-performance teams, making sure that you can rely on the people to do what they are supposed to do at the time that they're supposed to do it. So this is one aspect that over the years I've learned a lot about, and I've made my share of mistakes. And three key topics that I think are very important in terms of creating high-performance teams are items that I will be sharing with you today. First, you need to empower your team. You need to make sure that people know what you expect from them, but don't micromanage. Don't tell them what to do. There are many roads to Rome. And of course, it needs to be largely aligned with the way that you envision things to happen. But in the end, it is the outcome that matters. And people do things slightly different, which means give a broad direction, make sure that the objective is clear, but leave people to find their own way to reach the ultimate goal. Empowered individuals are typically much more motivated, especially when they work together with other people that are high performing, because high performance is something that stimulates other people around them to also perform at a very high level. A second topic, and as this is especially the case in global teams, when you deal with many cultures and so forth, is have open communication. Now, in my businesses, I've adopted a concept called radical candor. So open communication is making sure that your counterpart really understands what you're trying to convey. And for that, you use simple, short sentences, simplified language. It may sound silly, but it is very important to make sure that you get your message across. Paraphrase. When someone says something to you, make sure that you understand what they really mean. Differences in cultural context may actually result in different interpretations for certain things. And as a consequence, open and explicit communication is a very important aspect of building a high-performance team. A third aspect is diversity. Now, diversity is not just in terms of different types of people or people from the different parts of the world, but also male-female combination and so forth. And in some parts of the world, you have more men in IT, and in some parts, like in Asia, you have more women. But it's important that you have both covered, and ideally people from different cultures. Because if you have that, you can actually use radical candor to come to a common language, and everyone will basically elevate above their local cultural context and add their unique views to whatever is happening in your engagement. And as a consequence, you capture more small things that otherwise you might have missed. You get new ideas because you have different inputs of people. Now, these three practices is something that I live by and that I instill and try to adopt for every team that I lead. A last thing is, if you look at anyone that doesn't perform, don't wait too long for saying goodbye to people. Because if people don't perform, it's not because they're not necessarily good, but it may be that they don't fit in your particular context and your particular culture, and as a consequence, they may struggle to achieve. So have open conversations around this, and when things work, great, you go forward, but when things don't work, don't drag it on. Say goodbye in a timely fashion, in a fully respectful manner. These three tips are the ones that I live by and that I try to instill in every single team that I lead, and that can help create engaged and high-performing teams.